Okay, we're on San Pablo Canyon Tract 21 today. Like I was saying, it's about 25 minutes from town. You got year-round, really well-maintained roads, graveled roads here. You're about 8 miles off of pavement, and then about total 25 minutes back to Trinidad, Colorado along Highway 12. So we're looking at the bottom portion of the tract here before we drive up to the top. That's the West Spanish Peak. So we're facing about north right here. The main build site's up on top up here, or you could be you could come up this little valley here and then go right up here in these little trees and this little plateau of rocks right here. It's a nice treed valley going up, but the views up on the top are incredible, with almost 360-degree views of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains and the Spanish Peaks. So you've got good southern exposure up there, and there's also power up there to the nice build site up there, and then you've got this bottom land with the seasonal creek down here. This is headed back down canyon, San Pablo Canyon, back down to Wet Canyon, then you head down to Highway 12 to go back to Trinidad. So we're going to take a drive up to the top now and take a look at the build site up there. Okay, the tract is over there across the little valley going up the hill. We're headed up to the road that takes you up there. We got to go up on top of that ridge you see top right here. Got about another half mile to go. Not many people in here. There's 50 plus tracks in here. Maybe a half a dozen cabins or houses in here with a couple people that live in here year round. Surrounding area is not real populated as well. It's just pretty down here. Got lots and lots of elk and deer here. Herds of elk will range anywhere from 50 to 150. Okay, we're coming to this right-hand turn to head up this hill and get up on top where the build site is with all the best views. This road gets steep right here. For about a quarter mile, you got a pretty good grade here. Get some of this while we're going up. As long as I can pay attention and film at the same time. Right here, and you're getting a little steep. About 12% grade right here. Get up the top of this. Grab another gear. Mountains over there. And now we're getting up on top. So the building site is going to be just over there. I don't know if you can see the road continuing on that hill over there. It's going to be over on top of that hill over there, but it sure is pretty once you get up here. You see Fisher's Peak kind of right there, going all the way back to Trinidad, Colorado. There. And then you see the mountains over here. They're Sangre de Cristos. And then you got the West Spanish Peak and the East Spanish Peak behind us here. And we'll see that more as we're driving out. So I'm going to head up over to the build site now. Okay, we've arrived at the western boundary of the property up here on top, and you've got this nice flat top over here. You can see how all the trees are level, and you got power running along the road right here. So we're gonna get out here and take a look at some of the views, and the property runs off back this way down in the canyon down below, and you've got quite a bit of room expanding out over here where the trees are level as well. It's a pretty neat little valley this drops off in the back here. Okay, we just parked up here on top on the build site. And I come out here and see what we can see. Should have some pretty good views from up here. That's the Sangre de Cristos to the west. So those are going to be your primary views up here, and then you've got the Spanish Peaks. With some a little bit of tree clearing, you can get that West Spanish Peak in here real good for when you're building up here. So you've got power going along the road right here, and these trees, and a nice level build site up here. Lots of room to do something on. You can get up here over the edge of this canyon and maybe look over it as well. The main canyon we drove up, we looked at from the bottom, looking up here. See Sangre's over there. So the road's about 40 yards back that way now. We're walking down from this direction. Some tall pines in here you can keep when you make your build site. Some boulders in here somewhere. There they are. The views pretty much speak for themselves on this property. Yeah, okay. Some water that catches up here. And finally raining as we went the whole month of June and good part of May, the last couple of weeks we didn't have any moisture here to speak of. So this is the main valley we drove in down below, and I was taking some video right down here looking back up, showing the valley bottom down below. You can see the Sangre de Cristos to the west. And coming around here, that's kind of the southwest. Now we're looking about due west this direction here. And there's Cuchara Pass. Highway 12 runs along right at the base of the Sangres here and goes over Cuchara Pass and connects up with La Vida. West Spanish Peak's blocked by these trees right here. There's down some pretty neat boulders, rock formations here. So you have a nice level area back up in here off the main road. You can see a power pole maybe back through there. You can come right out here and use these rocks as a part of put your house right up against these if you want. Put your deck in and around this. Or a campsite. You can see the bottom down in there. That main valley, let's see, that would be, he could have come down there. I pointed out an area where the valley comes up to this top part. You could actually come off the bottom part of the road there and then have a cabin down below, but you won't get these views from down there. This is about due south. Lighting's kind of hard to mess with today. Wheeler Peak in Taos, New Mexico is just over this rise here. So you can see a good long ways here. Okay, we just came off those rock boulders there, and they're sandstone boulders, and there's the Sangres as we're walking along the edge here. You get more southern exposure going out, coming out further on this end, and we parked back up there where that pole is. So you could have some privacy off the main ranch road. Although there's no one up here on this part anyway, except for a small cabin or two. There's Cuchara Pass again, looking back that direction. It's early morning. Clouds are blocking the sun, so it makes it kind of hard to see things here. If I keep walking there, it looks like I might just drop off. So keep walking over here. It's kind of a neat little area right here. So we've been walking Kind of basically downhill from that furthest tree over there where the boulders were at. We first started on looking at the views. Kind of neat in here. This power line should be on the southern boundary line, unless they ran it through the property up here, which, yeah, they did. Here's we're back to the road here again. And this is a part of the track back here, this going back this way, so you could build up on this point here and still have good views. And there's my truck up there. This valley here is the main valley we drove up in. We started taking pictures of the track from the bottom looking up this way. And this direction's due east. Again, looking to Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. Back this direction. So this is San Pablo Canyon valley down here, down below the main part of the canyon, and we drove up this and came around up on top here. Gonna get a few shots as we're driving out here. It's pretty, especially when you see these Spanish peaks coming up over this hill here. Sangres all around on the side. See these, pretty. That's where we came from, is down there in the bottom. That's the main road where we took a right to drive up here. So we're headed back down now, and we are through.